Here's a simple question. Do you want measured suits that fit better, or do you want the generic off-the-rack suits? How about that? How about that simple question? Any guy that I know wants to look as good as they possibly can. They want to look sharp, and they don't want their suits to look cheap. They want it to look good. Guess where you can go to make sure that happens? How about Indochino? It's the world's most exciting made-to-measure menswear company. We make suits and shirts to your exact measurements for an unparalleled fit and comfort. Guys love the wide selection of high-quality fabrics and colors to choose from, and the option to personalize details including your lapel, lining, pockets, buttons, and writing your own monogram. Here's how it works. Visit a stylist at our showroom and have them take your measurements personally, or measure at home yourself and shop online at Indochino.com. Choose your fabric, choose your design, submit your measurements with your choices. Relax while your suit gets professionally tailored and mailed to you in just a couple of weeks. This week, my listeners can get any premium Indochino suit for just $359 at Indochino.com when entering SAS at checkout. That's 50% off the regular price for a made-to-measure premium suit. Plus, shipping is free as well. That's Indochino.com. Promo code SAS for any premium suit for just $359 and free shipping. Incredible deal for a premium made-to-measure suit, by the way. Indochino are also expanding into casual clothing. Your made-to-measure chinos will quickly become your go-to pant, pairing as easily with the suit jacket as they do with the sweater, and they'll be good any time of the year for any occasion, from boardroom meetings to Sunday brunches. Indochinos at an introductory price of $79, US dollars, that is.
Message and data rates may apply.
When did it become okay for men to be lazier, softer, fatter? We need to bring the men of this country back to greatness. And it's easier than ever with Ageless Male Max, a patent-pending formula with an ingredient that helps boost your total testosterone, promoting greater increases in muscle size and twice the reduction of body fat percentage than exercise alone. Plus, an amazing 64% increase in nitric oxide, which can be handy in the gym and in the bedroom. Take your manhood to the max by trying your first 30-day bottle free. Just pay shipping and handling. Not 10 days, not 15 days, but a full 30-day supply free when you text the word LIFT to 797979. Finally, a formula that boosts total testosterone. If your results with Ageless Male Max are too intense, please decrease use. For your free bottle, text LIFT to 797979. Text LIFT to 797979.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
By the way, when a player doesn't like a contract, they hold out, right? Well, with Straight Talk Wireless, you never have to, because there is no contract. They use the same exact 4G LTE towers as the big carriers, but for a whole lot less. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart. Refer to terms and conditions of service at straighttalk.com. Time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Best phones, best networks, no contracts. Let me get this out of the way. Let me say what a lot of people might be scared to say. Let me say what a lot of people may not want to say. Let me say something that New Yorkers are not going to be happy of hearing. Your football New York Giants are in a world of damn trouble. They ain't in the kind of trouble the Yankees are in. The Yankees are in the kind of trouble where they're going to get to the postseason but lose a one-game playoff and a wild card spot to the Oakland A's. Because you got CC Sabathia with an ERA near 10, for crying out loud, in recent memory. And J. Happ and, and Severino and Tanaka ain't going to get it done. No, but at least their troubles are going to be once they make the postseason. The New York Giants have an entirely different problem on their hands. The kind of problem that my man JP in Brooklyn alluded to last week. The kind of problem that the national television airways highlight and illuminate in a very, very alarming fashion. And the fact that they went on national TV last night, stunk up the joint offensively, and ended up losing to a team with the most disgusting, nauseating fan base in American history, known as the Dallas Cowboys, just rakes my nerves. So I'm just going to say it, and I'm going to say it for you playing. Giants in a world of damn trouble. They're in a world of trouble. That's why Landon Collins was disgusted. That's why the rest of their crew up here disgusted, because their offense didn't do a damn thing. I got news for you. Did y'all know that Saquon Barkley, that number 2 overall pick, who's an absolute stud in everybody's eyes, who weighs 233 pounds, who has tree trunks for legs, and was supposed to be breaking tackles and taking the league by storm? Do y'all know that with the exception of that 68-yard scamper for a touchdown against the Jacksonville Jaguars last Sunday, week 1 of the NFL season. Albeit that's significant and that matters because if you can run for 58 yards, we ain't seen no Giants running back do that in quite some time. Do y'all realize that other than that, he's averaging about 2.4 yards a carry? Has anybody paid attention to that? Has anybody paid attention to the fact that Will Hernandez and Nate Solder on your offensive line on the left side with Eric Flowers as your right tackle? Did y'all realize that the offensive line is worth nothing? Did y'all know that they gave up 6 sacks at the expense of Eli Manning last night? You got guys like Taco Charlton getting a sack. Of course, DeMarcus Lawrence and others. Do you realize that? Do you realize that the Dallas Cowboys defense, we have to sit here today, right now, at this particular moment in time. We literally have to sit here looking at the Dallas Cowboys and saying, you know what, their defense might be legit. You realize we have no choice but to do that right now? We have no choice but to do that with the Dallas Cowboys because guess what? When they played the Carolina Panthers, they held them to 16 points. They play yesterday against the New York Giants. They held them to 13. Eli Manning, eyes bulging out of his face, looking like a deer in headlights when he was sacked. Poor Eli Manning. I mean, my God, did he look 37 years of age last night. You can say he's holding on to the football a little bit longer. You can talk about his immobility. You can attribute all of their lack of success to that to some degree. Yes. But I got news for you. That offensive line was getting pummeled. Cowboys defenders were running through them straight up. It wasn't like they were blitzing all over the place. They were manning up with 4-man fronts coming at the New York Giants, pushing their offensive line backs like rubble. I mean, this is what we're talking about here. This is how bad it is here. And once again, the New York Giants are starting their season 0-2. What is that, like the 6th time in the last 7 years they've done that? I don't know about the rest of y'all, but there's a lot to be worried about with the New York Giants. There really is. And Dak Prescott, yes, congratulations to him. He accepted the challenge. The team accepted the challenge, blah, 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 blah. He was 16 of 25 for 160 yards. It wasn't even a 200-yard passing game. Can we pump the brakes just a touch? We're thankful that Dak Prescott didn't look awful. All right, fine. Bravo. I'm so touched. It really is touching. But in the end, the fact of the matter is the New York Giants lost this game because of Dallas's defense against them, not because of Dallas's offense. And Dallas playing offense the way that they've been playing the first 2 weeks of this season, don't expect any kind of success to continue unless Ezekiel Elliott starts getting the ball more and they're able to utilize play action to get the ball to some of these receivers. Outside of that, don't expect much from the Cowboys. The New York Giants, listen, they got a lot of sizzle. Eli Manning's a 2-time Super Bowl MVP. Odell Beckham Jr. is one of the greatest receivers in the game. Saquon Barkley is the number 2 overall pick coming out of Penn State. Oh, they got a lot of sizzle. Where's the substance? And I'm not blaming Odell Beckham Jr. He had 11 receptions against Jacksonville. I'm not blaming him. But it seems like all of this noise that was made about the New York Giants has amounted to virtually nothing. And their season is in a world of trouble. 888-SAY-ESPN, that's the number to call up. That's 888-729-3776. That's just one storyline to get to. There's another. Actually, a couple of more. Can we officially stop all the noise about Sam Darnold? He looks good, y'all. 25 of 41 for 334 yards, his second game in the National Football League. But the Jets lost to the Miami Dolphins. They spotted the Dolphins 20. They tried to come back, didn't amount to it. Sam Darnold threw 2 interceptions. It's going to happen. And the Miami Dolphins, of all people, with Ryan Tannehill as their quarterback, with Drake as their running back, with a bunch of no-name receivers outside of Danny Amendola, the Miami Dolphins are 2-0 atop the AFC East. because New England lost to Jacksonville yesterday. And I know that people looking at New England going up against Jacksonville thinking that, you know what, Jacksonville is going to be the favorites in the AFC now. Well, if Blake Bortles can quarterback like that all season long, you're damn right. Particularly with Jacksonville's defense. But we all know that's not going to happen. So let's pump the brakes and just calm down. Just calm down. Back to Darnold. I like this kid. He can play. He can play. And I got to tell y'all something. I'm not saying this is the case, but I am saying this is a legitimate question to ask, albeit it's just 2 weeks into the season. This is truly a legitimate question to ask. Ladies and gentlemen, did the Giants make a mistake drafting Saquon Barkley instead of Sam Darnold? Because you got to remember, you're not just looking at the players straight up. You're also looking at Eli Manning. We all know the quarterback position is arguably the most important position in all of football, if not undisputably. And when you look at Eli Manning at 37 years of age, we've given too much. I'm guilty of this. We're giving so much credit, or blame rather, in terms of the Giants' offensive doldrums over the years to the lack and the absence of an offensive line. And we're pointing to that instead of looking at Eli and saying he might have been old at 37 years of age. Now, I want to state for the record, I'm not of that thinking. Because to me, it wasn't just about the Giants' offensive line. It was also about the absence of a running game. The combination of the two has put Eli Manning in a really, really bad spot. That's how I'm thinking. But I'm also not oblivious to the fact that he has absorbed some degree of punishment over the years because of the absence of those two components. And if you don't have those two components and you're taking punishment, even if you've improved in that category, you've buffered your offensive line a little bit. You obviously have a running back finally. I'm sorry, if Eli Manning has been beaten up and punch drunk, well, what do you expect? Is he going to look the same? No, he's not. And that is what we have going on here. That is what we have to pay attention to. That is absolutely positively what matters. I don't think that's the case with Eli, but I got to admit to you, when I saw Dallas pummeling him last night, it had me questioning stuff. It gave me cause to pause. I said, well, damn, look at him. Look at his eyes. I mean, he looks out of it. He's scared to death out there because he had no protection. So there are those out there that's going to believe this product out of USC, Sam Darnold, should have been picked by the Giants instead of falling to the very next spot at number 3 and being picked by the Jets. I'm interested in talking about that today, right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio and ESPN News, 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. That's another thing I'm interested in talking about. It just is. You know what I'm also interested in? I got to admit this to y'all. If the season, if we were in a position where we had to judge MVPs right now, who would it be? Would it be Patrick Mahomes of Kansas City? Or would it be Ryan Fitzpatrick of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Boy, did Ryan Fitzpatrick put on a show yesterday. Another 400-yard passing game. The man passed for 402 yards against the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday. They were up 27-7, threw a 75-yard bomb to Deshaun Jackson. Connected with O.J. Howard as well. Eagles gave up 2 plays of 75-plus yards, which is just embarrassing, which creates questions in my mind about the Philadelphia Eagles. Not because of Carson Wentz or Nick Foles before him, or the Eagles offense. It's because of that damn defense. Eagles are stout against the run. They're number 1. Against the pass, they're like 27th. Like 27th. You see Deshaun Jackson, and I mean, it's amazing. He's over 30 years of age. You see how he flies? And I got news for you. You know what I found myself thinking about with Deshaun Jackson watching him play yesterday against his old team, the Philadelphia Eagles? You know what that got me to thinking about? That damn Chip Kelly, who obviously didn't mind getting rid of Deshaun Jackson. You see how these coaches are? And this is just a pet peeve of mine. I totally understand the importance of locker room chemistry. And I get the fact that if somebody is a bit truculent or cantankerous and they end up being a distraction for your locker room or whatever, that's not something that you invite. It's not something that you applaud. It's not something that you want. I totally get that. I really, really do. But the flip side to all of that The flip side to all of that is, why does it have to be perfect? See, the thing that annoys me about coaches and this belief, this system that you gotta have, or the locker room presence and all of this stuff that we talk about all the damn time. What gets on my last aching nerve about stuff like that, ladies and gentlemen, is this. You're the coach. Figure it out. Figure out how to keep the best talent on the field and in your locker room. Because that's how you win. If Bill Parcells wanted choir boys, there would have been no Lawrence Taylor. The Philadelphia Eagles ended up drafting Mike Mamula years ago instead of Warren Sapp because of some weed issue in college. Which player would you have rather had? Especially if you were the Eagles. All of this stuff about this need for choir boys in a locker room, I think it lets coaches off the hook. What the hell do you do if everybody wants to march lockstep with one another and personalities are not allowed to shine and spread their wings and express themselves, and everybody has to be mechanical and robotic? What is your job as a coach? Some people are choir boys, some people are not. Some people are timid. Some people, they brag and they're cocky. Some people are outspoken. Others are like recluses. Or like a recluse. That's life. Work it out. Deshaun Jackson should not be in a Tampa Bay Buccaneers uniform. With that speed, that electrifying speed, that long ball ability that you have with him on the football field. Could you imagine if Deshaun Jackson was in Philadelphia? Ask the Giants about Deshaun Jackson, particularly Tom Coughlin, who had to deal with him returning a punt to win a game, where Tom Coughlin literally told the kicker, don't kick the ball to him. And he's seen throwing his playbook sheet down while Deshaun Jackson is running by him. This brother's electrifying. He should be in a Philadelphia Eagles uniform. No way in hell he should have been in Tampa Bay. I know that's years ago because he went to the Redskins before he went to Tampa Bay, but that's just on my mind, damn it, because I was a reporter for the Philadelphia Inquirer for 17 years. And I saw what this brother could do. And he should have never been pushed out of Philadelphia. Speaking of being pushed out, by the way, and staying with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think we might have to entertain the possibility that Jameis Winston should be pushed to the bench for the remainder of the season. It's just 2 games. Ryan Fitzpatrick is streaky. I get all of that. But the man has thrown for over 800 yards in his first 2 games. He's thrown for 8 touchdowns and has run for another. And just has thrown just one interception. And by the way, did y'all see what he was wearing yesterday at the post-game conference? Now, that was hilarious. That was absolutely positively hilarious. For those of you who don't know, he stole Deshaun Jackson's outfit from his locker and put it on for the press conference. Shade, a shirt that was halfway open, along with some gold chains around his neck. It was absolutely hysterical. The whole daggone press corps was cracking up laughing. And Ryan Fitzpatrick had stolen Deshaun Jackson's outfit just for the press conference. It was really funny. And you got to remember, Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard. Okay? That's where he went, Harvard. But the point is that he's relating to his teammates. Now, me personally, I'm of the mindset, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm not being premature about this. Jameis Winston has been a distraction and a headache for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But he's only 24. He's not 35 like Ryan Fitzpatrick. And in my mind, you keep Ryan Fitzpatrick. You let him be your starting quarterback. You let him guide you for the season. And let Jameis Winston do something that he hasn't had to do in his life. That's sit on the bench, ride the bench, and watch somebody else perform and be a professional while doing it. Because if there's ever an opportunity to teach Jameis Winston a lesson that he will learn in profound fashion for years and years to come, it's him having to sit there and watch somebody else perform. Now, let me be very, very clear about my feelings about Jameis Winston. I actually like him. I don't like some of the things that I've heard him do, although I haven't heard admittance. But I think that Jameis Winston, as a football player, is a team player. I don't think he's selfish as a team player. And I think he's the kind of person that would accept the role, particularly with Ryan Fitzpatrick playing the way that he's been playing. Jameis Winston would have no choice but to accept that role. And then to sit back and watch Ryan Fitzpatrick school him on being a professional and being a man and understanding that you have a responsibility to your teammates to be as upstanding as you possibly can because they're relying on you to help them pay their bills and to take care of their families because this is the pros. I think that's something that will work tremendously well for Jameis Winston. So I'm all for Dirk Cutter right now announcing to the world, Ryan Fitzpatrick's our quarterback for the season until I say otherwise. Jameis Winston will be riding the bench when we get back. I'm all for it. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. Obviously, this past weekend I was at the fight. Triple G versus Canelo Alvarez. It was a great fight yet again. Canelo shocked me because I thought that he backed up. He's a magnificent counterpuncher, an exceptional boxer. And I thought that, just looking at him and he didn't back up for most of the fight. Triple G dared him to fight Mexican style and to be right there. And Canelo was right there for Triple G all night long. And Triple G was backing up, throwing a jab. So in that regard, for this to be a decision that favored Canelo Alvarez, I understand the thinking. I was just of the mindset that this is boxing. Jabs do matter. Points matter. Plus, Triple G connected in the later rounds with his share of power punches. And I think because of that, I have to give credit where credit is due. I think Triple G deserved to win the fight. Was it a robbery like my brother Teddy Atlas says? No, it was not. It's not a robbery. It was a close fight, one that a lot of people feel could have gone either way. I believe it should have went to Triple G. Now, I stand here humbled by what I'm about to tell you. Errol Spence Jr., welterweight champion. Jamel Charlo, middleweight champion, WBC. And Andre Ward, who's retired now, but former undisputed light heavyweight champion, who recently knocked out Sergey Kovalev. Okay, before this kid Alvarez did it. Andre Ward, these three champions surrounded me Saturday night and told me they thought I was wrong. They all thought Canelo won the fight because Canelo was the aggressor. Triple G was the one backing up. And they said those body shots that Canelo was hitting Triple G with had his legs lifting off the canvas. I saw some of those things. I just saw a Triple G that was more effective in the latter part of the fight. So to me, he warranted a close decision win, which he did not get. Now you got people clamoring for a third. I am not. Triple G had 2 shots to get it done. I don't think a third is necessary. I think a third works against him. I think that it's time for Canelo to move on. Fight David Lemieux, who knocked out Gary O'Sullivan in the first round. David Lemieux got power personified. Fight Daniel Jacobs. Fight Charlo. But I don't think a trilogy is necessary here. And I think we've seen more of Triple G inching towards the end. He weighed in at 160 pounds for the 390th time in his life. It's a lot of fighting, y'all. It might be time for him to fade into the twilight. He had 2 chances to beat Canelo and to take him out, and he couldn't do it. It's just that simple. That was Straight Talk Wireless, nationwide coverage of America's largest and most dependable 4G LTE networks.
Craving even more of Stephen A?
Him of all people!
For around-the-clock access to the man?
I'm Stephen A!
You can follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Stephen A. Smith and on Facebook at Stephen A.
Guys, let's be real. When you look good, you feel good. At the JCPenney wardrobe sale, you can get 50% off select men's suits, separate sport coats, dress pants, and accessories. Plus, select dress shirts, buy one, get one free. Raise your game with Collection by Michael Strahan. All the right looks to take your style to the next level. Also, save an extra 20% off with your JCPenney credit card and coupon or extra 15% off with any other method of payment. Hurry in. JCPenney. Style and value for all. Pricing and coupon valid 9/13 and 9/23. Credit offer subject to credit approval. Some exclusions and restrictions apply. See store at jcp.com for coupon.